see, is this on? Yeah, okay. Welcome to my first video. I guess with this channel I'm really wanting to give myself a chance to witness myself in my full authenticity, and I'm toying with the idea of how much I want to share, because on the one hand I don't want to share so much that I end up regretting it, but at the same time I feel like I don't want to hide the parts of me that aren't perfect and are maybe a little bit messy. And I just hope that as I look back on these videos, I'll know that the things that I'm choosing to share and the things that I'm saying are a reflection of like how I feel in the moment, and they're like capsules in time, and how I feel now doesn't have to be the same as how I feel in the future. I don't know, I think I'm really needing an outlet to be honest and completely myself. As I'm navigating heartbreak, I'm getting to the stage where I'm ready to let go. I think I've been really wanting to hold on and trying to fix what's here, and holding on to this idea that if I just keep trying, if I keep figuring out what went wrong, there's still something to be saved. But ultimately I think that's just a fantasy to help cope and stay in denial of like my current reality, because at this point in time there is no future if the other person doesn't want to participate. This relationship is really asking me, I think, to focus on myself and my own experience. But it's hard because I keep wanting to return to the memories and what could have been. It is currently 3 a.m. I just got back from hanging out with Destiny and Ernie. It was Destiny's birthday at midnight, so at 3 hours ago. And I just have to say that I love both of them so much, and it is kind of crazy because I thought that I would never, I don't know, I guess I just never anticipated feeling like I have a soulmate in someone who is actually just a friend before. I have called other people like friends soulmates in the past, but I think that the connection that I have with Destiny is really, really, really deep and beautiful, and I'm just so grateful that she exists. And also her boyfriend too. This was the first time that I've hung out with him, but I feel so close to him too, and I just think it's so crazy how that's even possible. And it's really nice because they really reflect back to me my worth and what they see in me, and especially right now, trying to navigate this breakup, I think that's been really supportive. And it's really nice to have a space with two people who are just open to listening without trying to change how I feel. I'm really, really appreciative. I am also finding today that I am feeling sad again about the breakup, particularly because I was hashing out some of the details of the relationship and like reflecting on the things that I really miss about Michelle when I was with Destiny and Ernie, and it's really hard not to miss someone you love when you're thinking about all the wonderful things that make them them. And it almost feels kind of scary sometimes because I think I'm so used to feeling in a place of not being good enough for her, which was something that I was putting on myself during the relationship, but it just feels like such a familiar place that when I start to like think about how wonderful she is, I'm very quick to put myself in a position where I feel unworthy. Yeah. I keep trying to rack my brain for how she could be able to move on so quickly, to actively be seeking a new relationship. I think I am at a point where I don't think trying to understand is helpful for me anymore, and I'm actually just going to stop trying to do that, because I think it's just a way that I'm using to cope, to avoid having to actually feel the hurt and the rejection and the pain of how much this loss is actually affecting me, and how it really feels to have someone know you that deeply and still choose to walk away. There's no way that I will ever accurately actually be able to conceptualize what things feel like for her and what really happened between us compared to my own experience of the relationship. And so I'm choosing to just focus on the feelings that are present for me and what they mean to me, because that is what's real for me right now. And I know that I am going to continue to rewrite the narrative of our relationship as my feelings change in each moment, in each day. And that's completely okay. I don't need to make sense of it all. I don't need to create some sort of big meaning for it to all make sense. It just hurts. Today has been a pretty interesting day. I had school today. Had a presentation, and that was like the first time I had given one in maybe like 2019, like a year after high school. But I'm pretty proud of myself. There's this thing that happens when I talk in front of that many people, and people that I don't know well, where I can literally feel my heart beating so fast in my chest, and it's actually something that I feel a little bit embarrassed about, because I don't know at what point I started to be so like embarrassed to be seen, I guess, and perceived. And not surprisingly, I think that has been getting better as I've been starting to accept myself. The other day I had watched a TikTok where someone had said that we're afraid to be seen when we are hiding from ourselves, and I think that is so true. And I think recently, as I've been integrating all these parts of myself that I shut away for so long, I'm just feeling really comfortable in my skin, and I think I'm very, very grateful to finally be able to say that and really mean it. Speaking of that, I had therapy this morning, and so there was something I had realized last session, and it's kind of been like stewing in my mind until now, and it's that throughout my life I have been disappointed and let down by my family. Particularly when I was younger, I was disappointed a lot and continuously, and at that time nobody ever helped me through that feeling or figure out what that feeling was, and so it just became too much for me to bear, and I would just numb it and go to sleep instead. And so into my like young adulthood and teen years and young adulthood, every time I would start to feel a little hint of disappointment, my body would suppress it immediately, and it would register as either like annoyance or like dismissiveness. And I've always just thought that I had like a very low tolerance for people, and like I get disappointed very easily when I'm talking to someone and they like aren't listening, or like misattuning, or trying to change what I'm feeling, or give me advice instead of be like present with me. And it's something that I haven't liked about myself for a really long time, because I was seeing it as like an aversion towards like people. And so I was seeing myself as this person who like, why don't I like people? What's wrong with me? You know, that was kind of the narrative that was playing in my head. But I realized that it's actually because I did not know what it felt like to be disappointed. And so like I didn't know what the feeling of disappointment felt like in my body, that I've been labeling it as all these other things, so deeply misunderstanding myself. And it feels so monumental now to be able to realize that when people let me down, I am going to feel disappointed, and that's completely okay. And I know that sounds so simple, but it really was so big for me. Being able to say that something disappointed me and not have it mean anything about the way that I have to navigate the relationship from there on forward. Because in my mind before, I would take it as like, oh, this person like doesn't care about me. Like let's say today I had a friend tell me that she wasn't sure if we could get dinner anymore because she might get drinks with her coworker, and we had planned this dinner a month ago. And in the past, that would have been something that really made me feel like, oh wow, like I'm not a priority at all. This person doesn't care about me. But I think it's so strange now to just feel the disappointment in my stomach and know that that is the disappointment that's showing up is actually the feeling of me feeling like no one cared about me when I was like 6 years old. It's not like a current day feeling, because like adult me knows that there are reasons why plans change and people need to be flexible, and I completely understand that in my rational mind. But it just feels really nice to like finally have a connection with my body of like what is happening when I'm feeling this way. And it feels like now that I understand that I am just disappointed, it's so much easier to hold it and be there for myself. And it doesn't make me feel alone anymore. And it's crazy too, because I've really been trying to validate when I feel hurt a lot over the past 6 months because of the breakup. Actually, throughout the whole relationship, honestly, I was really trying to like make it known to myself when I was feeling hurt, thinking that all I needed to do was feel the feeling of hurt and it would go away. And I think that there was something missing, and it was this shade of also feeling extremely disappointed, and that has made something click in me that I can't really fully explain yet, and don't know that I'll ever be able to, but that's where I'm at right now. And I'm feeling okay about the breakup today. I miss her. Even though I don't want to miss her, and I can feel myself resisting trying to miss her, but I just do, and that's okay. So I'm going to take it easy on myself for the rest of the night, and I'm going to light some candles, clean my room. It's a little bit messy right now. I signed up for this newsletter. Actually, I don't know if I'd really call it a newsletter. It's one of those artists on Instagram where you can sign up for their like monthly subscriptions. And I got this in the mail today, and I'm gonna read it because it was really resonating with me, with what I'm going through right now. It's tempting to want everything to unfold straight away, to figure out all the mysteries, to dispel the unknown, to receive all your blessings at once. But there is so much beauty in the unfolding, the natural timing of things. Maybe something you thought you so badly needed in your 20s will unfold so much more graciously in your 30s. Maybe something you thought you'd accomplish in your 30s will unravel so much more deliciously in your 40s. There is no need to rush. Everything is happening at the exact perfect pace. Slow down and enjoy the unfolding. I think there's so much to be said about the natural timing of things. It does just make me feel like a little more hopeful that my time to have a very full love that chooses me back forever and ever will come, but that time is just not right now. And I really want to enjoy this time alone that I have and really pour into the exploration of myself, because this is all we have.
Hold on tight, there's a storm standing in the eye. When it rains, it pours, and you sure know how to make it.
It is currently May 10th, and that is 2 weeks and 2 days since I last saw my ex. I feel sad. I've been feeling kind of all over the place. And I know that I'm supposed to, but I think like the initial 11 days, I was very much in a place of like, you know what, like this is for the better. I do not want to be with somebody who treats me this way, moves on this quickly. And so it was easy for me to feel like everything was happening in a way that's good for me, and like actually her and I were not meant to work out if like this is how it's gonna play out. But I've been feeling sad again the past few days, and it just sucks because I know there's nothing I can do to rush it, and I am going to keep feeling sad for a long time. In this breakup, I think I have actively felt more sadness than I have ever felt in my entire life. What is nice about that though is that I've been feeling through a lot of like the sadness that is about my mom, or I kind of just felt very detached from her, but now I'm realizing how much of the hurt that I feel from this breakup is actually my original hurt with my mom and not being enough for my mom. So that's been really nice. I don't know what it is about like parental heartbreak, but it feels really good actually to like grieve and like purge that like disappointment. And like honestly, it's crazy because it is such a huge part of who I am, and I had been denying myself of that part of my identity for all this time. But all of that to say that there is also a part of me that is really grateful for the way that things are turning out, and I do really hope that the universe is taking care of things behind the scenes for me and putting something in my path putting love in my path that is deeper than anything I've ever felt. And I think the reason why this breakup is hitting so hard is because it's this like existential loneliness that I feel now, not only from being separated from my partner, but also separated from, or like made conscious of this loneliness that I exist in from everyone. And like that was something I don't think that was in my awareness before. It feels like there's this big wound in me from my mom where I really feel like no one is on my team, and then I think to finally have had someone who loved me and I really felt like understood me and was really on my team, at least for a little period of time. And then to realize that that hole that I am trying to fill is actually never going to be filled because that's not meant to be filled by someone else, is like this new sense of loneliness that I'm sitting with now, because it's like, oh, I really, in a certain way, I really am alone, and really there is no one on my team in the way that I had been hoping for. There can't be. That's like soul crushing, but it's also liberating because I feel like I am uncovering a new layer of consciousness, and existing in a place where I wasn't before. And I think in this place it feels like there's more room for creation, because it just feels like I actually have autonomy now, that I have to, and that the world really is my oyster and I am responsible for creating everything around me. And that's hard and it feels heavy, but I'm also really happy to finally feel like I have a sense of power and agency over my own life. And it's like heartbreaking that I had to experience deep love and then a breakup in order to realize that. But I guess that's just kind of the way life goes. That kind of does also reinforce this thought, though, that that was the lesson that I was meant to learn in this relationship, and everything transpired exactly the way that it did so that I could.